Okay, welcome back to another exciting edition of the Coffee and Cookie Show. I'm James.
I am Kerry.
And this episode is episode number 4. And
number 2 actually for the year.
I have 2 other episodes that I just haven't edited yet, remember?
So that's right.
They're recorded yet, they just haven't been edited. So 1, 2, 3, this is 4.
That's right, this is
Okay.
4.
And this is episode number 4 of the year, or of the series. I guess it would be the series. And this is episode number 4, so we're going to be talking, we're going to actually go back to some of our favorite things that we like to obsess about, finances.
Personal finances, investment, spending habits, wealth building, real estate, you name it, we're going to cover it. That's our passion.
Not going to cover it all because I could spend hours talking about this, but I think a 12-minute video would be nice so we can cover the basics. So if we go over 12, we're going to edit it down and get you into the 12-minute, like, iconic time frame.
Everything you need to know in 12 minutes. Everything you need to know about finances, investment, and what to do with your money based on what we would do in the 12 minutes that we have on the show.
Yes, and it's worked really well for myself. I've made exactly X.X dollars.
And I made exactly Y dot. We're not going to talk about how much we made?
Not exact numbers, no.
Okay, all right, we're not going to talk about it.
I mean, maybe someday, but I don't want someone coming to my house saying, I want some of that money. I want that money, man. Give me that money.
All right, so we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to talk about 2024 in reviews. James made some pretty big financial moves. We'll talk a little bit about that. But we're going to talk about the overall market for the year. So number one is S&P 500, James. I mean, it's up for 26% for the year. It spiked about a week ago, then it kind of took a downturn with recent news about inflation and the interest rate cut. But what do you think, James, about the?
I think a lot of people may not know what S&P stands for.
S&P 500 is Standard & Poor's 500.
That's all they need to know. Okay, S&P, you can research that. We don't have time to get in all the details, but it's a barometer. We're going to use that word a lot today in all shows. Barometer of an indicator of how the market's moving. So you wouldn't go out and say, "Oh, give me 20 S&P," but it's a reflection of the market in general.
Yeah, and my recommendation, and a lot of people's recommendation, is instead of buying individual stocks, if you're new to stock market, you're new to investment, just buy S&P 500. It basically says when the economy goes up, when the American economy goes up, you make money. We make money, so just buy that.
Well, technically, you'd probably buy an index or an ETF fund that would cover the S&P 500, but your investment broker can tell you all about that.
Yes, but what's important is that the S&P 500 was up for the year. That means it's the second year in a row that we went to the 20-ish percentage gain, and that's pretty phenomenal. Meaning that if you're putting as little as $1,000 at the beginning of 2024, you would have made $260 based on your $1,000 investment for doing nothing, just sleeping, waking up, and at the end of the year, you have $260 in your brokerage account.
Yeah, and I want to give you information you can act upon and actually use and not just think, well, that's great for you. Because I think a lot of people are sitting home right now. I mean, millions of people are sitting home right now saying, how does this benefit me? What can I do with this information? How does that make me rich? Because I want to be rich. Doesn't everyone want to be rich?
Everybody wants to be rich. There are rap songs made about it. There are movies made about it. We all want to be rich. And we are here to coach you on the best thing to do to be rich.
Yeah, so you're probably going to be rich after watching your videos. I mean, disclaimer, if you're not, it's not our fault. You did something wrong. But if you are, then you can maybe kick back and recommend the videos.
He's rich. Be like him. So we talked about S&P 500. That's one barometer. That's one index. That's something you can invest in. A second one is also Berkshire Hathaway, Class B and Class A. Class A, I think, is worth I lost track, but it's worth a lot. I buy the Class B, which is a more affordable version of the Berkshire Hathaway. It's a phenomenal stock. It's run by a guy named Warren Buffett. You might have heard of him. And S&P 500 is up about 27% of the year. Tracks S&P 500 pretty closely, but not entirely. A little bit different demographics. Your thoughts?
A is, don't even worry about A. It's like $370,000 or something now. You can't buy that unless you got it fractionally through another company. But you know what? The same guy just got his B shares. So B shares, that's what that's called. B shares, B shares, and you can buy some of that. So yeah, he's a smart guy. He knows what to invest in, and that is I believe it's considered still a mutual fund, even though it's a direct purchase. But yeah, you can get that. B shares, Berkshire B. Look it up online. Ask for it by name.
That's a finding. And the third thing that we've been investing on that you could get rich on, it's real estate. 2024 has not been a good year for real estate. So in other words, if you took your money and bought real estate, by the end of 2024, you didn't make a lot of money. You could have a house over your head and you can live in it comfortably, but the appreciation was not great. And it's largely due to a relatively high interest rate. James has some real estate transactions this year.
Yes, for me, I sold a property after 12 years of owning it. It was my first sale, so I learned a lot about that. I would say it did okay over the 12 years, but had I bought it in the wrong year, maybe like not so recently, it would have not done nearly as well. There is a huge amount to go over. I would say in general, it is tough. It's so much easier to be in stocks. You're not going to be taxed yearly. You're not going to have to deal with a new water heater. You don't have to do anything with stocks. You just set it and
forget it.
Yeah. We invented that phrase in case you hear it anywhere else.
I mean, for you, James, how much of your portfolio is in stock and how much of it is in real estate? And
I would say 1/3 is in stock, and then playful stocks where I actually can move the money, and then another 1/5 would be in. Oh gosh, what's it called? 401k, things like that. I really can't touch. Some old company shares, and then 1/4. I know these don't equal a whole, but who cares? Anyway, that would be the rest of it. Would be real estate. So real estate left over. It was just some Seattle investment, and that's where I'm at.
1/3, 1/5, and 1/4. The math is, I'm a little rusty on math.
You don't have to deal with the math when when you know what we know. Math is not a problem.
For me, I would say about 50% of my money is tied up in real estate. We have a Seattle condo, and I have a rental property in California, and the current house that I live in Bellevue, Washington. That's about 1/2, and it didn't map out that way. It's just in the last 10 years, the real estate has done really well, just by luck. And then the rest of it, I would say, quarter of it was in IRA, 401k, and the quarter of it is it's mutual funds and stock. And that's my vehicle. I've explored things like commercial real estate investing. It just never really got my attention. So anyway, so let's talk a little bit about best money practices, James. I think one that the viewer often want to know is what are things that you should spend your money on, and what are some things that you should not spend money on? You and I agree on this, right? I mean, one thing we want to talk about today is cars. Do you recommend buying new cars? Do you recommend buying used cars? Well, what are your thoughts?
Some people disagree, but in my whole life, like Mr. Warren Buffett, we kind of got the same mindset here. I've never bought a new car and probably never will. I would buy a car that's maybe 5 years old, sometimes 10 years old, and yeah, I would never have. I mean, you can, let's say that you had a Lexus that was $50,000 new. I mean, 4 years later, that could be worth $15,000. So you think about that, $35,000 just to buy it 4 years old, and you're going to get probably close to the same experience. So for me, used cars is the way to go.
Yeah, I think most people recommendation is to buy a used car. Never buy a new car, especially don't buy new cars on loan. Don't take out a loan to buy a new car. That's one of the worst money moves you could make. Buying a used car, you could buy a really nice car for a fraction of the cost of a new car. And if you buy a reliable brand like Lexus, that's what I have. Both of my cars are Lexuses, and they're reliable. They're cheap to maintain. They don't break down a lot. And if you buy a used car, it's also cheaper to insure. So you know what? Just buy a used car. Buy a nice used car instead of buying a mediocre new car. And you still impress your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever it is. Buy a reliable used car, and that's the first move. And the money that you save, invest it. Invest, invest, invest. Let money work for you when you're sleeping. Don't work for your money. Just put the money aside and let the big companies work hard to make money for you.
But what if you can't afford a used car? Because they kind of want all the money up front, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000.
Yeah, so you don't have to buy a $20,000, $30,000 used car. You could buy a 10-year-old Honda Civic. Perfectly good car, very reliable, very cheap to maintain. And I was just looking up on Car Guru. You can buy a 2014 Honda Civic with 80,000 miles. That probably can run you for another 5, 7, 8 years reliably, cheaply, and you can buy one for about $6,000. So it's still not zero, but it's a lot cheaper than a $50,000, $60,000. I think a brand new Civic nowadays will run you $28,000, $30,000, $35,000 depending on the option. So the money that you save, you could just invest it and let it work for you. That's what you do.
Yes, of course, but again, you have to save that money ahead of time to be able to afford the purchase price of the car. So start saving right now.
What happens if people don't have $6,000?
Oh, well, can you get a loan for $6,000 to buy a car? Is that possible?
I don't know. You know what, ladies? Look in the mirror. If you're a 5, 6 out of 10, you put that body to work and you can save some money and use that money. Come see me if you need help. Work for about 2 months, save up $5,000, $6,000, then you can buy your Civic.
You might
want to edit that part out.
Might be editing this out. Maybe the outtakes, maybe. Like this special edition.
Okay, so final topic for the end of the year. So we're wrapping up 2024 here. What do you think is going to happen in 2025, James? There's been a lot of movements with interest rate, with the changes in government. Do you think we're going to see another bull run in 2025, or is it coming to a halt?
My prediction would be the bull run will continue. We usually go on the average 8-year cycles of bull and bear. And so I think this one still has some life left in it. I think inflation will go down. I think the new administration will want to make it appear appealing to all those that voted in favor or had to accept the results. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if it just kept going, and I don't see any real reason for it to go down. People want to invest and keep their money working for them.
Yeah, some of the major banks are projecting about a 10% gain in 2025, which is less than the 28% gain that we had this year. But in my personal opinion, things are so hot right now that even a 10% gain, I hope it's going to happen. I wish it's going to happen. But it's a long shot, to be honest. I think all the companies are running a high PE right now. Big things are pretty big. Inflation, the latest number is hovering around 2% in October. So that's bringing some optimism. Interest rate, I don't know. I hope it goes up another 10%. But I honestly don't know. But what's interesting to me is what's going to happen in the real estate market in 2025. 2024 was a little flat. I'm not going to lie. It didn't do much. But what do you think is going to happen in 2025, James, with the real estate market?
I think it'll mainly be flat. I mean, the interest rate's going to help the drop in it. But I don't see any big changes coming. I think there's no really impetus to get people to buy any more or less than they would have before, aside from, I said, there's just a lot of people like relocating, going to different states, and then you've got people like upgrading homes. The first home, I guess I'm covering all the normal things of real estate, but I don't know if that's really going to hugely change due to interest. Interest rates are kind of what makes everything change and the economy in general.
Do you think interest rates going to go up or down next year?
I think it would go down a little bit over time. I think they really want it to go down because you can't have it going up forever. It's unsustainable.
Interest rate. It's crazy. I mean, even I just looked up the number on the mortgage interest rates at 6%, and the average homes around here are well over $1 million, and it just seems out of reach for most people. So I hope it goes up, but I won't say I'm a bear, but I think it's going to probably peg at around 4 to 9% gain for the next year. But We will see. Don't know. Hard to say.
That's it for Coffee and Cookies. Tune in next time. We're talking about other stuff.
Happy
Cheers.
2024.